Oh, good, you all actually had a commands command, so me having that on the screen didn't mess anything up. Yeah, like I said, this cutscene is about 2 minutes long, and the timing doesn't start until afterwards.
I can't help you.
Well then, let me just remind everyone why we're here. Because this is the PreNASA marathon. We're raising money for the hotel space to rent out the Toronto Airport West for our 2017 live event. You can totally win some cool prizes and stuff if you donate. You should check it out, and you should also think about attending our event in May of 2017. Thank you.
My parents called me in when they found out I had powers. I was dumbstruck. But my brother Brent, he always took it. He just grabbed my hand and we ran. Spent a few years living on the streets, staying out of sight, keeping on the move. We did some shitty things to make money. But that job we pulled before leaving Seattle, worse than the rest of it combined.
Yeah, I wish there was a way to just park a save file after this cutscene. It makes grinding for PBs a little tedious too, because resets are painful.
How much?
Enough to rent a decent place.
Yeah?
Yeah. Enough for a short-tailed Burmese cat.
Yeah, I'm glad the game that I run, Vampire Bloodlines, has a skip intro button. Very convenient.
Shit, get out,
Yeah, I have my headphones plugged into the TV right now to hear the game, so I didn't catch that.
Oh, no worries.
Wait,
Okay.
do this job really
Alright, we're almost ready.
No one will be able to find us?
Yeah, soon. No. Do not use your
I'm
powers.
not gonna kill anyone, just carry my weight.
Fetch.
Okay.
Hey! You! Come over here. Look at
Okay, we're ready to get going. 3, 2, 1, go.
Is this really necessary? Wait!
Alright, this is inFamous First Light. This is a prequel to inFamous Second Son, a perhaps much better known game.
Brent always pushed me to
If you don't know the inFamous series,
If anyone knew a conduit was in town, there'd be a manhunt.
it's basically about super-powered individuals
I
called
used my powers to
conduits
get the job done,
who
and the
have
two
the
of us would
ability
take
to
off. We'd be
manipulate and
miles away from
weaponize
Alopecia.
particular forms of matter. Our heroine in this game is Fetch Walker. She's a supporting character in Second Son. This game kind of tells her backstory. And her power is dominion over neon gas. It affords her super speed. So, even in a casual playthrough, this game is all about going fast. First objective here is to draw the cops away from the dock, and we have to hide until they can't see us. The best place to do that is right here in this parking garage. You just come in here, you chillax on this top floor. It takes about 1 minute and 40 seconds. And then the phone call from Brother Brent will spawn in, setting the events of the game in motion. I don't see, okay, I was gonna say, I don't see the helicopter on the mini-map, which is a little weird.
This'll work.
So yeah, that was pretty clean. There is about a 1 in 100 chance that the guards could find you here, the police could find you here. And that actually happened to me during a marathon run once. So, after how horrendously that first run went, I was kind of expecting it. But that's a good clean start.
We need to leave now. The DUP's coming.
I thought you wanted a fresh start. And you know I want that cat. Just tell me what the job is so I can do it.
It's so cute, Brent telling Fetch to be fast, as if that wasn't
Break in, grab the red
her
duffel bag.
best power, running fast.
You get it? And we're leaving with a literal boatload of cash.
I like the sound of that. We'll get out of Dodge. You're always one step ahead
It's
of
a
me.
really good game.
Fast. The thought of you in a DUP prison
I love this series, and I love this game in particular for how good it is for speedrunning.
Knock, knock.
Second Son is not as good a speedrun game or game in general, in my opinion. So there's actually a little bit of speedrun tech going on here. You wouldn't know it unless you speedrun this game. But if you just move to the right as you enter the penthouse, instead of going forward towards those enemies, you actually despawn 2 enemies behind you. If I had walked forward towards the enemies around the bed, around the duffel bag, 2 extra enemies would have spawned behind me. And obviously it takes extra time to take them out. That was actually a pretty bad penthouse fight, but at least I didn't mess up any tech. It was just slow. So we got blowed up, so we got to refill our neon, which thankfully we can just do right there, and head back to Brother Brent at the boat.
Fetch, you okay? Were you in that? What happened?
The place was full of Russians dancing around a bomb.
Shit. The Currents. They found him.
Found who?
My boss. If they knew about the penthouse, then they'll know about our boat. We gotta go now.
Fine, warm up the engine. I'll be right there.
I'm sorry about all this. I really wanted to get you that Burmese.
I actually have a Burmese cat emote for my channel for just that little reference.
Stay away from the boat. The Currents are just outside. They got guns.
If you've never played either one, I would say play this one first. Because this is a prequel to Second Son. It depicts events that are pretty clearly referred to in Second Son. It does retcon them slightly. Yeah, that's my emote. You guys have my emotes? Interesting.
Where are you?
Huh. Cool.
Whenever I'd start to freak out, I'd focus on Brent. It was the only thing that calmed me down. I clung to a good memory.
So we have a cutscene skip here. You quit out to the home screen and reload the game. And we even for the leaderboard, we time our runs in RTA, so, you know, this load time, of course, counts. It's still faster than sitting through the cutscene. And it's not small, either. It's by a good 15 seconds. We'll do this 3 times. There's 3 comic book-style cutscenes you can skip this way. The first 2 are about 15 seconds time save. The third one's a good 20 seconds. Yeah, I'm seeing all the emotes I know. No.
Those breaks from reality changed me.
No, that is this
Wake up
guy's
with no
face.
powers. It was like my body decided to fight, but my mind just gave up. Been very forthcoming, Miss Walker. How about a break? You can show me the skill you acquired from your mental snap.
I don't typically show my face
You wanted
around
to
these
get control
parts.
of your powers.
Every once in a great while, but
That's what we're here for.
even outside of marathons, even just on my usual stream, I'm not a fan of using face
Let's
cam.
start with something simple. I'll be watching your progress from up there. Please don't try
I love
anything
feels peachy,
stupid.
man.
All I do is stupid.
No, Miss Walker. You're a survivor.
Alright, so this is the first of the 3 arena challenges. There are actually 6 of them outside of the story. You do 3 of them during the story, just because. Basically just to introduce them, and I think the arena challenges are meant to be this game's replay value. For me, it's speedrunning.
The world won't wait for you. Sometimes you need to act fast. Follow your instincts.
And I keep the aim held down there so I don't have to dilate time again shooting the weak points of the second set of statues. It's a small time save.
Impressive, aren't they? These
Okay, I'm gonna
Now,
appreciate that you put a kappa in that
Just mindlessly
and
shoot
just
things,
leave it
okay?
at that.
conduit up here making those holograms.
That's not usually something I like to hear.
The point is survival. Not just for you, but for those who can't defend themselves. Go on, protect
That
them.
should never take more than three shots. Most of my PB attempt runs end in this segment.
The clock's ticking.
World record holder for this game, good friend of mine, XK Rye. He would say that these are just like stupidly easy.
Now,
To me, they're not.
second hostage somewhere nearby, but this time you'll have to move quickly to save him or he'll die. All right.
But I mean, my PB in this game is 123.21. His is 118.59, so we're kind of at two different levels. He also runs the game in Italian, interestingly enough, and it's, you know, there are places where it's markedly faster to run it in Italian. I certainly would if I could. I have the, you know, monolingual English version of this game.
Push yourself. How high can you
He's from Great Britain, so he has the European version, which has several language
proven basic
options.
mastery? But are you tenacious, Miss Walker? When presented with a challenge, do you fight
You got it,
bravely
Bloodcack.
or hide in a corner?
Alright, so now we have to go kill things. Holographic things, but still. The idea is to take out their weak points in midair.
Helpless soul.
Although doing that kind of screws up your spawns for these waves. You have hostages and then you have waves. Ideally, you want to take out both of those waves before the next hostage spawns in. It can be pretty tricky.
We've got another victim coming. They just keep coming, don't they?
Because by the time wave 4... How did that second guy not die? By the time wave 4 rolls around, you want the arena to be clear.
Okay, you're good.
Because if the arena is clear when you clear wave 4, the next hostage will spawn in instantly. You don't have to wait for it at all. And the arena is now clear. You can tell that it's clear when you do the L3 ping and you don't have any little pink aura around your ping. You can manipulate to a certain extent where the waves and hostages spawn in. They always spawn in somewhat close to you, but it could be close to you anywhere on the, you know, vertical axis. See right there. The instant I killed that guy, the hostage spawned in.
This new hostage looks...
I didn't have to wait a countdown at all. And I guess maybe I just suck at aiming, because I feel like I hit the
Now you get a real...
weak points 100 times and they don't die. This is...
Hurry, Miss Walker, there's another hostage. You wouldn't...
Now, this probably would have been a sufficiently bad alpha that I would have reset if this were a PB attempt. But the beginning of my splits on my my PB splits are pretty gosh darn good. So wouldn't be a shock if it were. Thankfully, though, since we do the run on the easy difficulty, because, you know, no reason not to, the holographic hostages have to be shot upwards of 40 times before they die, so even if you do it slow, there's no real chance of them dying and you have to do another one. The arena challenges use a 3 strikes and you're out system. If 3 hostages die, you have to start all over again. Which, oh, I did that too soon. Damn it.
See the practice.
You run this game, you can put it in Italian and beat my
That
time.
was an
If you're good enough.
performance on the hostage exercise. We keep score, you
Like
know.
I say, my PB is 123.21, world record is 118.59, and
Inspire you.
XK says that, you know, his PB is missing those cutscene skips, so... Because those only work if you can video capture the game. If you stream direct from console, quitting out to the home screen cuts your stream, so... Those would not work in a direct from console stream.
Resume your explanation.
So he doesn't even have those in his PB, so that's like a free minute he could save. And he said that even 116 should be possible.
My brother.
Keyboard and mouse,
Ended up back
please.
at what was left of our boat. That's where I met him. He was looking for Brent too.
There's a good example in this segment of why Italian is faster.
Excuse me.
Ah, you could do it that way.
I'm sorry, have you seen a fella rocking a mohawk?
But if you
around here
don't
somewhere?
have a computer that can run
You know Brent?
OBS, or if you, I guess if you just record it and then like upload the recording to YouTube or something, that could
Saying
work.
they're the ones who did this? Damn it, they keep kidnapping my employees.
Kidnapped? Wait! Do you know where they have him? Can you take me?
Slow down there, sugar. I'm
So
sure
here is
you're
Shane,
not gonna get that pretty face caught up in all this trouble.
creepazoid drug
I
dealer.
don't know what you had worked out with Brent, but
He's my brother. Help me.
brother, are you Fetch? I'm Shane. Shane? You know, Brent never told me that his sister was such a pretty little thing.
Please. Just tell me where to look.
These two are voiced by two of the more prolific voice actors
Thank you. And if
in
you
the
think of
industry.
anything else,
Fetched
call
by
me on Brent's
Laura
phone, all
Bailey,
right?
Shane by Travis
Yeah,
Willingham.
sure.
Even
Whatever
if
you
you don't
say,
know those
sweetheart.
names, I guarantee you
Make
you're
sure you
familiar
take
with
care
their
of
work.
that, all right?
And the two of them are in fact married. And they're a super cute couple.
Gotta get this city ready for the real me. Need some neon. Lots of neon.
Particularly because Travis is like 6'4", Laura's like 5'2". Tall guys and short girls make the cutest couples.
Hey there, Fetch. Now, I put out my feelers, but these occurrences are on a hair trigger. We'll have to move fast on the lead.
Okay, I'm already headed for some neon gas.
Whoa, I reckon. Now, I love huffing gas as much as the next guy, but is that really...
It's a trick I picked up back in Jersey. The gas helps me run insanely fast.
Kind of a clean landing on the sign.
Come on.
Play HD game on CRT, record with VHS camcorder. Sounds like a plan.
All right, you lazy.
As long as you can get a VHS recording on
Make yourself
YouTube.
useful.
Or Twitch. Isn't Twitch doing video hosting now?
That's a boost.
So we got a little spawn manipulation
Only got a
here.
firepower I can
If you're on this building and still running forward, you will spawn closer to the lumen race than you otherwise would.
It moves.
You're supposed to spawn on the water tower, but doing what I just did, you spawn a little bit closer.
Sweetheart, did you have something to...
I gotta go. Something really distracting just came into my field of view. You wanna stand? Bye. Zipping through those clouds, I'll haul ass.
That big whole speech she just said, in the Italian version of this game, she says 2 words there. 2 words. So that is the prime example of, oh, I did not want to jump there. It didn't actually cost me any time, though, because I just wanted to hear that dialogue. Vine should be Vine, yes. Instagram. Alright, there are little in-game challenges to award upgrade points. I'm gonna want to get one here.
Coming to me. Where's Brent? Oh, none of you speak English?
Might have gotten it. Let's see. No, I didn't get it.
Here it comes.
So that's unfortunate. That would be a reset in a PB attempt. What I was trying for there was triple takedown. That's taking out 3 enemies from within 1 focus. It awards 3 upgrade points, which is pretty significant, especially this early in the game. And if you get it, you spend the upgrade points on an upgrade called Air Dash. I'll get it during this segment anyway, but if I had it for the traversal to this next mission marker, it would save time. About 7 seconds.
Great, thank you. And enough with the feelers. I get it, you're a creep.
The fastest way to get around town is the monorail.
I will have you know that some women find me irresistible.
Sure, if you're paying them.
Because that's the only place that the neon clouds are at predictable and reliable distances from each other. What other games do I run? Well, you can always pull up my speedrun.com page. I definitely am big in the inFamous series. I've run all 5 games, and I have, you know, times that aren't horrible for 2 of them. I'm a world record holder, stick it to the man. There's a game I'm going to be running soon called Hue that I'm very excited about. It's a puzzle platformer.
We'll get these guns to your men, and they'll use them to find Brents.
There's another game I run called Escape Plan. It's a PlayStation Family exclusive game because it originally started on the PlayStation Vita, and I run the PS4 version. Alright. We can get our triple takedown with those guys. And I actually want to take this car out, because they will throw a grenade at me if I don't. There's our triple takedown.
I'm ditching the truck. Cover me while I run.
That was actually pretty good time clearing the car blockade. Yeah, Escape Plan, it's a great game. I'm the only person who's ever run it, though.
We should hide, just for a bit. Give me a chance to recharge.
Right.
Do that at just the right time, you can save a few frames.
I think we're clear. Let's roll.
There's no karma system in this game, unlike the other inFamous games, so you can kill cops.
Damn it.
You kill cops and it still fills up your singularity meter.
Crazy.
Because they're still your enemies in this game.
Who gave these guys a license?
See? This is why people don't steal from the occurrence. Now I'm gonna try cut through the park.
Now, this I call my shits and giggles singularity because there's no reason to use one here. That also means there's no reason not to use it. So, I just use it. By the time you actually need one again, you have it racked up very safely. Well, this isn't on PS Vita, but Escape Plan, yeah. There are no runs of any category on the leaderboards for
These guys
PS
aren't
Vita
giving
for
up.
that game.
Any ideas?
I've got an escape plan. Just have to time it right. Blade, you ready with the bus? I see you. Coming your way.
A bus? Who was that?
Just try to kill as many things as possible.
That was forethought, man.
Yeah, well, sometimes...
I mean, if you want to consider an uncontested world record something to be proud of,
How come I never saw you
so you
on
hang out in this little parking space right here, don't go anywhere else,
enemy number one?
I got
and wait for this line of dialogue,
low profile.
and you can start running toward the next mission.
To the line. We'll unload here.
If you stray too far from that point or start running too soon, you'll get a game over screen.
Be like in the sack.
Get your boys armed and out looking for Brents, or I'll lace a hole in your sack.
Because the game does tell you go back to the top of Shane's truck, but if you do it right, you're fine.
Whoa, whoa, now what if I told you I already have some guys asking around for your brother? I'll send you their
You
position.
try to collect lumens on your way.
By now.
You go from creep to okay.
Well then, go for it, man.
Born and raised in Texas. guys out searching for Brent got made by the occurrence. I'm sorry, honey, but I need to call my boys back. It's just too dangerous.
No, I'll protect him. Tell your men I'll protect anyone out looking for Brent. Ugh!
Alright.
Shoot him once I open up. That'll be fast. Shane, the voice is breathing.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're good at this. Another one of my guys just got spotted.
I'll take care of it. Just send me his location.
There we go, that's nice. Yeah, this is an awesome game to play casually as well as speedrun.
Come on.
Once again, the fastest way to get where we're going is the monorail tracks. It's kind of a meme for me, though. I have such a hard time staying on these tracks.
Have them all head to Olaf's restaurant by the heart.
It's much easier in Second Son, but it doesn't matter in that game because there's no neon clouds.
All right, well, I could be out back at Olaf's with a truck. And once you open fire, I'll pick up my boys. And then we're gone.
This part takes a lot of practice to do really well, because ideally you want to take these dudes out with unfocused shots. It's faster and you can take two out at once
Yes, ma'am.
with one shot, because there's a little, detonation that doesn't happen if you do a focus shot. However, if you miss, it's not faster. Imagine that. You see right there, I took those two dudes out with one shot.
My boys are out moving
If
down
you
the
do it right,
town.
you can take all three of those dudes out with one shot.
Errands are all shooting at you.
Fine by me. They almost shattered bones. Be my guest.
That was bad. It's also possible to take all three of those guys out with one shot. I have not been able to do it in a while. Hiding by the tree is cheating. That wasn't bad.
Shane, you guys okay? And even find Brent?
Well, I think you motivated them. Watching you go to town. Oh,
You gotta make use of the downtime. Collect lumens during phone calls.
I'm not a monster. I gotta help my brother. Sometimes I lose it without it.
You, madam, are in luck. One of the men you just saved, we heard an current lieutenant made a collection in Georgetown. Now, if we find this guy on surveillance footage, we may be able to track him back to
We're
where
gonna
they
make
were playing.
this...
Every now and then, you're okay.
Does
Yes.
that mean you're finally gonna let this cowboy ride the bull?
Oh, get
Bulls
off of
are all
there.
male, dude.
Yeah, well,
There.
whatever.
This is where we need to be anyway. Spawn in another phone call. Go on another
Hello?
mini collection quest.
Jenny to work with Shane. I guess I'm supposed to help you track down an current lieutenant.
Over the phone?
We'll use city cameras. You get me their IDs, then I'll know where to look for footage. I'm sending you the location.
Ah, I'm
Sorry, camera ID.
screwing this up.
Where are you again?
Jenny, I work for the city. Sometimes Shane.
Alright,
Camera ID is like a key
I got what I needed.
scan for it using your phone. Send me that, and I can search through its footage for this guy. We've got some killer facial recognition software. It's kind of creepy.
Okay, got it.
Scan me the ID so I can.
So, in tracking the trafficker, we're
That's our guy.
scanning security cameras in the area to find the trafficker's path. There are numerous wrong cameras you can scan, but you don't even have to scan all the correct ones
As in slaves?
that show you part of his path. If you already know where you're going, you can just go straight to the end. So that's the last one. There's like a good 2 or 3 more that you could be doing. Hey, Liam, good to see you. Can't skip this cutscene, so we get to watch the current trafficker kidnap the girl. And it's best to trigger that cutscene from as far away as possible, so you can run towards the phone during the brief phone call between Fetch and Jenny.
Jay,
Run up this
you think we can
building,
find out where that guy goes all day if
jump
he likes
off.
Sure, it'd take a little while.
There's a dialogue skip there.
phone? promising.
I don't know if you quite caught it, but Fetch kind of interrupted herself. You're supposed to hit the trigger for that during the mission, but as I mentioned, you don't have to.
So you want me
So,
to rush in and really brutalize the
it's
track?
faster to not.
It's gonna be my distinct pleasure. Just point me in the right direction. Oh, and Jenny kicks ass. Give
I
her a
messed
call.
that
We
up a
gotta
little
leave.
bit. I messed that up a little bit. Okay, here comes Terminal Skip. This is the most finicky
Shane,
bit
I
of
don't see
tech
any of
in
your
the
guys
game.
around here.
Currents forced them out. They had to run. Got pinned down near the ferry terminal.
How many tracksuits they up against?
Lots. Why? You excited to be the Grim Reaper again? Racking up. I got guys down there taking cover around one of my trucks. Keep them alive, and they'll back you up once Jenny hacks that phone and we go on the warpath for your brother.
If I release this singularity at just the right time... it'll skip this entire fight. Nope. Damn it. I've never gotten it in a marathon run. And actually, my PB doesn't even have it. It saves about 40 seconds. Especially when these guys don't die. What is going on here? How many times did I shoot these guys and they're not dying? Wow, this is going badly. But you definitely want to take the sniper out last, because the next sniper doesn't spawn in until you take the first sniper out.
You get on over to the other front.
Front?
And the
What is this, a
cue for the mission being over,
Throw those guns.
or not the mission being over, but the fight being over, is that the area is clear, that there's nobody left.
Turn it, why, naturally, get
Got another dialogue skip there.
Don't be sour. We're whooping ass here. What's Brent's best?
Nice pop-in rendering, bro.
Great. Seems like the time of running them down.
There she is. My angel of death.
So we just kill things here.
No way. Dupes will be here soon. If I end up locked in Curtainwood prison, I'll never get my brother.
The triggers for moving this mission forward are the dudes on the rooftops. There's 2 roofs where dudes will be up there shooting down at us. And they're already on the second one, I think. No, they're not. Well, I'll beat them up here. I usually don't do it this way. There they spawned in. And it's kind of funny, only one of them ever notices you. The other ones don't even care that you're out here. See, he doesn't care. I just took out his 2 buddies. Even after I shoot him a few times, he doesn't care. And we are now looking for cars to pull up. There we go. As soon as they get out of those cars, we fire off our singularity, and this should clear the area. And it did clear the area.
Caused the last bit of that
Did a few
light
more
show.
lumens during the phone
Worked
call?
up and dishing out all kinds of pain. Gave me chills.
I'm just doing this to help my brother. I don't enjoy it. He and I don't do things like this.
Oh, I see.
That's
You don't want
not
old Brent
what I
to
meant
find
to
out how
do.
it really is. Grim Reaper, you, the one I happen to cherish so much.
Brett keeps me alive and safe. When people see things like what I just did, they freak out. I'm losing my
Top
family.
off.
Well,
And,
if it's
you know,
a
the
joke
next
going on
lumen
in
is
your
too far
range,
away,
your
so
brother around,
all you can really do is sit here and wait for the phone call to end.
crack that occurrence phone. We know where they're keeping hostages.
Are you serious?
When you're ready, you meet me in front of the Latte
It's
Alma
go
Mater.
time.
It's go time.
Yeah. Not quite on the mission trigger.
Hey, Fetch, that you? Me and the boys are in the back of the parking lot. Come jump on top of
Right
the
in
truck.
shotgun
That
on
during this segment. And it's another auto-scroller. Yay! Speedrunner's favorite things.
Hellfire enema you just gave them, they'll be ornery.
Yeah, lumens.
Animals are dangerous.
Those are your
Thank
upgrade
you
points.
For the frontier wisdom.
You also get them by completing little challenges. There are some little challenges that are specific to the arenas, some that are specific to free roam in Seattle, some that you can do at any time.
Hey, Frontier Man, use the damn gas pedal.
Okay, you're the one without an airbag.
And again, you want to use unfocused shots here, because if you use focus, it dilates time, which is obviously slower. And if you're on the easy difficulty, which you should be for a speedrun, there's no worry about the truck dying. The enemies simply can't do damage fast enough unless you just don't shoot them, which would kind of defeat the purpose. So we get this far, we can run ahead of the truck at this point.
Okay, Jim thinks they got people trapped in container boxes down in the docks.
Oh, that's bad. Not real bad, but I don't know where the hell I am now. Okay.
Absolutely. You're the queen on this chessboard, honey.
I guess that actually wasn't bad at all, but it was bad form. Didn't waste any time. I jumped at the wrong spots. Yeah, the cargo boxes you have to open are always in the same place. But I prefer to ping while running just so I remember where they are. And you saw there a very annoying little glitch that can happen sometimes. If you're too fast in doing the input to open the cargo box, the animation simply won't happen, and you have to do it again.
In an alley near the South Monorail station. Oh no, they're
So
coming
we gotta go to the South Monorail station to meet Brent. And hopefully not run off the tracks.
No, not now!
There's a helpful little arrow here pointing us exactly where to go. That's probably the reason it's there.
All right. Brent! Oh my god.
Surprise, surprise, Shane's a bad guy.
No so sorry, darling, but I'm gonna need to put you on the payroll. At least till I get set up around town, then I promise you will get him back. Fetch, Scouts on it.
Don't do this.
Just a few more jobs. Fetch.
No, no, no. I was losing it again. I had to find a memory, even a bad one, to focus on, to cling to.
Alright, here's our second cutscene skip. It's possible to do them too fast. If you do them too fast, you have to sit through the entire cutscene, the entire first cutscene, which is unskippable, all over again. I think you actually have to run to it again, too. So I waited just a brief extra moment there to know that I was not doing the skip too fast. It's still a time save, of course.
Sounds like your body was
I don't get who Popey OP is pointing a gun at.
Yeah, I did. You want to see it? Come at me. Close up with a bunch of guys.
This is our second power that we earned during the game, Stasis Blast. It's pretty useful, but it chews up the neon
You've been
real
holding
fast.
out on me, Miss Walker.
Maybe. Set him up again, I'll give you the real show.
Yeah, you have to hit the weak point after the Stasis Blast here, and they're all kind of on the far side of the enemy's body, so it's hard to do that fast.
Impressive. Why haven't you shown me this before?
Maybe because you haven't given me something worth using it on. Let me hit some of your dupes, then you'll get the fireworks.
Careful what you wish for.
Alright, so this is Beta Arena. This is where your PB paste runs come to die.
Follow the yellow lines and stay in the middle of the hallway.
Plain and simply put. The phrase RNG shit show comes to mind.
No way out. All exits are sealed. In here, I'll allow you to attack holograms of my men, but only condition that you no longer hide any of your powers from me.
Deal. I spent years running from these guys. Fighting them's more fun.
Alright, so I do this first part a little bit differently than other runners of this game. I wait for all 3 of these introductory waves to spawn in, and then I shoot off the singularity. Because in addition to the singularity doing vast and widespread damage, you're also invincible during the cutscene and during the singularity itself.
In this exercise, I'd like you to start creating your own reality.
So this is Turret Whisperer. We have to find the 3 turrets and overload them. The first one is always in the same place. The second and third can be not anywhere, but they can be in various places. Where we don't want them to be is up high along the walls. So that's why I always return to the center of the arena to try to keep that from happening, and it worked that time.
Hey, buddy.
All right. For now. Well done. A weapon is just a tool. You can bend it towards your
One
goal.
kind of cool thing that you might never notice.
Man, I'm not your weapon. You keep
Can I even
talking
show
about
it?
my anger trying to get inside
Fetch's
my head.
mouth actually
Just
moves
let me
when she
fight.
talks.
DUP agents were once like you. Lost
Yeah,
conduits
could have
that
seen it from
needed
here,
my
but
help
she doesn't have any more dialogue right here.
But to get the job,
So we have to clear 10 waves. I want the first 2 to spawn up here. And yep, the first one is spawning where it's supposed to. Good, that's where I want the first 2 to spawn. How did the guy on the right not die? How did the guy on the left not die? Jeez Louise.
am I going too easy on you?
The Augustine trash talk is RNG. Obviously you don't want to get it, but sometimes it happens. These are some good spawns. Hopefully this will clear everybody. Not quite. One dude down here that's okay, there we go.
You see, you are.
So I want to top off.
When we picked you up, I suppressed the media, erased you from all the records. Why?
I'm gonna overload this turret so that it's active once wave 6
Just here
starts.
for my powers. They make me feel normal.
Even though I don't know for
You're
sure
here because of what you did. You want to let the
anything
road
is
down,
gonna
then
spawn in front of
channel
it. If it does, oh it did. That's nice. I have a little ally free of charge. That is really nice. This is actually an excellent beta. This is like I'm gonna check my split, check the VOD after the run to see if this would have been a gold split. Because this is, okay, this guy is kinda being a character, but until that point, this is pretty close to perfect. Yeah, these guys that conjure the concrete around your ankles are called bishops. All the DUP... Come on, dude. There we go. All the DUP enemies are named after chess pieces, with Augustine, of course, being the queen. Let's get that.
There you go, little turret.
Holy crap, this is an amazing beta. I've even got the turret shooting the big guy. Okay, we need to not die. Actually, he went into his little concrete igloo, so we can just kill him. Wow. That was an amazingly good beta. A little more force menuing here. And you can actually soft lock the game if you do this too fast, so I'm not gonna mash. But wow, that was a good beta.
Keep impressing me like this.
I am definitely gonna check the VOD after the run to see if that would have been a gold split, because it would have been pretty close. I'm pretty sure.
With the occurrence out of the way, Shane set his sights on the chief of police, hoping to strong-arm him into some kind of deal. If I helped, obediently doing whatever I was told, he promised...
Honestly, this whole run is not going too badly.
I knew that was a lie.
I
With more
don't
dupes
think I
showing up
need
like
these
that, I
lumens.
knew
No,
it.
I don't need them. But I'll get them anyway, since it doesn't waste any time to get them. This is our final upgrade, double air dash. Yeah, we changed the upgrade path for this game,
I have a
I
problem.
mean, I guess it's been a few months ago now. It still feels like it's not that long ago. To go for double air dash instead of some movement upgrades, some combat upgrades. We just get all the movement upgrades. It's a little bit riskier, but it's faster, no question.
Get pissy with me. These guys are on my ass because of you and your freaky laser shit.
Dude, chill. Do it. Busting up that compound will take a few dupes off the streets. It'll give me room to operate.
Fine. Just don't forget my boys.
I sure won't, balls. Okay, dupes. Today I bust into your house. See how you like it.
This mission here is actually where I lost my last PB paste run. Which really shouldn't happen, because this one's very
guys,
simple.
Hit the bricks.
I managed to muck it up somehow. You open the first two cages, more dupe reinforcements come in. But this is why we have a singularity stored up.
Bigger.
We come over here. Oh, come on. That's not where I wanted to aim it. But we go down here, we open the third cage while the singularity is in the air. Hopefully this still clears the area.
Okay, baby
It did.
Shane, run
Good.
for it. Thank you, dupe-ass.
So that actually still worked
I wanted to do
perfectly.
that for years.
Our next mission is clear across town, so we want to get
Thanks,
moving
ass. Your goons have been
during the
released
phone
back into
call.
the wild.
You are such a good and faithful little servant. You know, you deserve a reward. Fetch?
Brent, where's he got you?
I don't know, but forget about me. Leave town before the DUP catch you. Now, you see, honey, you do right by me, you get a little brand. But cross me, and I take a little off brand. Maybe an ear. Or two. Lady's choice.
This has actually been a pretty solid run. Would have been better with terminal skip. If I had gotten terminal skip, this would probably be PB paste.
Not if you've got something more.
You speaking from experience?
Look, I want to help, but it has to stay between us, okay? Go to the middle of the science center. I'll explain there.
Jenny, you here? What's the deal?
I'm dumping a program onto your phone. You see the wireless video app? Try it.
What is
You may recognize the voice of Jenny. That is Ashley Johnson.
About to get total access to these things.
Not as prolific a voice actor as
So,
Travis Willingham or Laura Bailey,
track me. You better
but
find
she does have a very famous video game role to her credit.
because we're both sick.
She was Ellie in The Last of Us.
I'm stuck in Shane's world, but you don't have to be.
Oh, that was expensive.
It was. Seriously. They're like 90 grand each. And there's another one at Spruce and Third.
Is anyone else hyped for The Last of Us sequel? I certainly am.
Alright. It looks like the police just brought another one online. It's moving a little faster than the others. You might have a harder time catching it.
I can do fast. It's kind of my thing.
That's not a drone. We used to get the rapid fire upgrade, but this is all it was ever used for, is taking out this chopper.
A helicopter? Really? You didn't know it was a helicopter?
I'm sorry. It's all the same. It looks...
Then you have either 2, 3, or 4 dupe agents to fight. It's RNG which. 3 is the most common. And it looks like I got 3 this time, so not too terrible. Oh, he's not dead. Die, dude. Thank you. Next marker is at the extreme south of the map, which doesn't really help you unless you're familiar with where everything is in the actual,
Fiery debris.
layout of the city, which I struggle with in real life. So I kind of had to just memorize which way I was going, because as you may notice, there are no compass markers on the minimap. Same goes for inFamous Second Son. It makes navigation a little hard. And I can never remember precisely where this marker is. It's on this roof. There it is. And I'm a little low on neon.
That includes my brother?
Yeah, although I don't know which one. There are 4 and they're all guarded. Once you start cracking them open, you got maybe a few minutes before Shane finds out.
Then I'll have to move fast. Thank you.
First box
As soon as she says first box is nearby, you can start running toward the second one.
It's empty.
If you run before that point, you have to go back and hit the trigger to say, oh no, the box is empty.
should give you a little time, but you gotta move.
The idea is running through these clouds extends your time,
All about his guys getting up to
but you don't actually have to run through a cloud. You just have to have the effect of running through a
I wonder how I
cloud,
knew about the cargo boxes.
meaning
Might
that
be
air
easy.
dashes also extend your
I'm
time.
helping you out with this and then leaving with a clear conscience.
Clear conscience. What did you do?
Find me a drink on the beach somewhere.
One time when I was
far away
just
from here, and I will tell you.
messing around for funsies, I got this timer to over 2 minutes.
I'm tripping over him out here.
We started working double shifts after you leveled that DUP base. You, my friend, are public enemy number 1. Congrats.
Come on, Brandon. Please.
He's trying for a one-hit takeout there. And if anyone is surrendering at any of these sites with the
Try the next one. Go.
with the industrial boxes, you have to kill them anyway. You cannot let them surrender. You will see why in a moment. Kappa.
Hey there, Fetch. What's my best girl up to?
Kind of busy right now.
You sound out of breath. What's going on? You been thinking about me shirtless on a horse again, huh? I can't really blame you. Or maybe you're having one of your little panic attacks. That it, huh? You gonna curl up and shut down again?
Yeah, the run to the second container box is the tightest one in terms of time. The third one has a much shorter time limit, but it's also a much shorter distance to run. So, this is the only one where you could even conceivably run out of time. Sorry, dude, but we have to take you out as well. Open lights, get moving.
What's going on, Jenny? There's no one in here.
I don't know. There's only one left. It has to be there.
So you start off with a
Shane's computer to find out
15
where-
seconds
It's all right.
time limit, but it's really close by. So even without doing the little trick to extend the time, you're fine. Ah. Dude. What are you doing, dude? Gotta take you out, and actually, we should have had a singularity racked up by this point, so somebody else surrendered and I must have missed him.
Jenny, it's empty. This was a setup. Jenny,
Oh, I'm afraid Jenny can't come to the phone right now.
don't you hurt her.
Well, didn't you think I'd notice when all those police these drones started going missing? Only person that knew about that deal was Jenny. I had to find out
Rip
if she was still on my
Jenny.
team or not.
That was all me. And so was this.
Please. She's the brains. You're just a laser
I love that we can make Fetch say put her on the phone when we're looking at her dead body.
Although, if you hurry, you might be able to catch her. See now, Fetch, I did what Jenny forced me to do. She knew the price of betraying me. The question is, do you?
My brother. You killed my brother.
That's good. Now, don't let Jenny's death be a waste. Do what I say, when I say it, and your brother lives.
So it's a minor problem that we don't have a singularity right now, but we can rack one up.
You know what? Meet me on top of the Pioneer building. We got cops to kill.
Oh god, I saw the gorilla sign. Incoming Harambe memes.
Okay, Shane, I'm here.
Sorry, darling. I got a little distracted. Get out your phone. You'll see. The cop I paid off finally got me access to their cameras. This here's a live video feed.
So? It's a bunch of cops.
Yeah. And they're protecting the chief of police. A man I am very eager to meet. Sadly, not with that kind of entourage present.
I'm not gonna kill
Alright,
all
there's
those
my
dudes just so you
singularity.
can have a sit down. I'll distract them. Stop making
Best way to create a
I'll
ruckus
steal off
is
my
to
best
throw a
friend.
singularity.
Work, sugar. Now, if this meeting goes the way I see it, I'll be running Seattle for years to come. Meaning you and whatever you're doing, keep it up.
One
Cops are looking at you. Start for their cars. Keep
It was
raising
actually
hell.
pretty quick.
Police chief looking around wondering where all his men went. I think I'm gonna go introduce myself. And just in case, come on by. I want my laser gun for protection. About time. Keep the cops off my back.
Guys, this run is going pretty gosh darn well.
Don't get any ideas. Your brother's safety depends on my safety.
After how horribly sticking to the man went, this is kind of a nice surprise. Now, you don't actually want to look for the snipers when the screen first tells you they're there, because they're not there when it first tells you they're there. You again want to take these guys out with unfocused shots if you can, but it's like, don't be a hero, because if even one gets past you, you get a mission failure screen. I shoot off the singularity as soon as I accumulate it. Nice.
Fetch. Oh, you sweet thing. The chief has something to say to you. Stop. I'll give your
Go
boss
over the greenhouse, down this road, second left.
You hear that? Everyone's getting what they want.
Yeah? Where's my brother?
Been keeping them in a building not 3 blocks from here. Problem now.
And that's it?
Well, you heard the chief. You leave town and I'm a
This
main
is the
man.
building we want.
Smiles all around.
There's nothing to do in here but wait, so I like to abuse the soda machines.
I'm sorry, honey. The DUP's getting awful close. And now that I got the chief of police in my pocket, you're just a cute little liability.
Poison gas. You pussy.
How can you blame me? It's not like shooting you to death has worked out for anyone.
get out of here.
I know, darling. That's why I gotta make sure you don't. You understand.
Whenever I'd start to freak out, I'd focus on Brent. It was the only thing that'd calm me down.
Alright, so this is our third and final cutscene skip.
Brent knew.
That cutscene is longer than the first two, so as I said, the first two doing the skip saves about 15 seconds. Here it's closer to 20. And I do kind of wonder if this would save even more time on the PS4 Pro. There are a few dozen games that got specific patches for PS4 Pro enhancements, and this is one of them.
Shane had Brent.
I have no particular interest in getting a PS4 Pro, but I would be interested to know if this game runs faster
How did you
on
break
it.
out of that tunnel? Did you get another power from that mental snap?
Alright, yeah, I was holding out on you. Again. Whatever, I'll show it to you. Just clump up some guys down there.
Missiles! Who doesn't love missiles?
Impressive. But why are you showing this to me now?
Because it's training. It's work.
Feels good, man.
I feel good. Give me something tougher to fight.
Miss Walker. Follow the yellow lines. Stay in the middle of the hallway. You seem to have a number of personal demons. The conduit who creates the combat holograms, he's obsessed with the video game event.
And I have friends who speedrun Demon Souls, so I always love that line. Obsessed with a video game about demons. This is Gamma Arena. This is much, much easier than Beta. Come on, dude. No, this game already got its PS4 Pro upgrade. And yes, it did get a specific patch enhancing it for PS4 Pro. I don't know where you're getting your information, but wherever it is, it's wrong. Take out the spawners by hitting the little balls orbiting them.
These creatures aren't real, but your satisfaction in killing them is. Think about channel your hatred and become strong.
I mean, if you have this game, you can just check the update history within the console. And 1.02 is PS4 Pro enhancements. 1.03 is just... The only notes in the console are other bug fixes. So I'm kind of not sure what that patch actually did. I asked Sucker Punch on Twitter, but predictably they didn't reply. So as you see, that one's pretty simple. Certainly as compared to Beta.
It looked like you were enjoying yourself. Ride that feeling and unleash
No worries.
your potential.
No force menuing after Gamma.
You see what you're capable of? There's a future for conduits who can put their past
And it makes sense that they both would, because they run on the same engine, and they use a lot of the same assets. Like, a lot of the same assets.
Shane out to kill me. I was out of options. I had to go on the attack. Problem was,
Yeah, I did some test runs after the 1.03 patch to see if anything was different, and I couldn't find anything different, so it probably just fixed really rare bugs. Oh, come on, dude. Yeah, those guys die in one hit, which is nice, except when they run away from you.
Talk to each other somehow. Ooh, a headset. Just my size.
Convoy 3, any sign of Walker? Nope, Shane nailed it. With all the inventory on trucks, she's not gonna
So you have to
find
hit the first video dish, or else this truck won't spawn in.
Hello, trucks. Run for your lives.
In this mission, we are destroying Shane's drug shipments. There are 6 trucks scattered throughout Seattle, and we have a very cool way of manipulating where they spawn in. At least I think it's very cool. One stasis blast, provided you actually aim it in the back of the truck, destroys everything inside it. I don't know who found that, maybe Lydia? But it's very good to know. So you just quit out again and reload. This is slower than having absolutely flawless RNG in the mission itself, but it's way more consistent to quit out and reload. The second and third trucks will both be right by the spawn point, and then I'll quit out and reload again. The fourth will be close by. The fifth, the fifth is going to be further away. I will have to run quite a ways to get to that one. There's number 2, and also by quitting out, we get our singularity back.
Back on fire. Jimmy, come on, man. Talk to us.
What the... Oh, you're left. You are a jerk. But you can see the second truck is right there, so they'll probably even be shooting at me by the time I'm done with this neon graffiti. Or if they're not, I won't have far to go to track them down. Yeah, they actually did not see me, which is kind of dumb. Knock on the door, say hello.
Guess who?
Bitch, you wreck one more truck, and Brett loses a hand. You hear me?
You're not gonna hurt him.
No? Yes.
What do you think I've been doing? Without him, you have no, absolutely no protection from me.
Oh, I don't think I was supposed to quit out there. I think I was supposed to quit out only after the fourth one. Oh, I screwed up. That's okay. Just means I can't use the singularity on the ambush on number 4. Yeah, I screwed up a little here. Oh well. Yeah, that one right there that I'm heading towards, it would have been right by where I was.
Come on, it's just one girl. One girl! Send that bitch our way. We'll take her out. I'm in the west. Anyone seen her over here? Should I go east? Just keep doing what you were told. See, it's the neon girl. It's the neon girl. Ah, look out for the neon.
Yeah, I would ordinarily use the singularity here because I could just quit out and get it back. But I can't quit out a third time. I already quit out once too many. So I'm going to take these guys out the old-fashioned way by just killing them. You can see why I like to use the singularity here instead of just killing them. Although that wasn't actually that slow. Okay. So I need to find another video dish.
Looks like you lost another shipment.
I don't usually hear this dialogue. This is cool.
Give me Brent. It all stops.
Oh, no. You turn yourself into
Scouts honor.
then I'll free you. Scouts honor.
Sorry, Tex.
I think she's after me. I see neon signs all over the place. What if she's one of them? Stop panicking and just kill her!
There it is. The 6th truck is always in the same place.
Guys, we're getting lit up here. Someone tell me where she is.
They throw smoke bombs out the back. Ha! And I timed that pretty much right. If you throw your missiles at just the right moment, you can destroy the goods and kill all the enemies, thus avoiding a fight altogether. I didn't get it exactly right, but I got it pretty close to right. The last truck is right here. I can never find that just on my own without placing the dot. So it's slower to pull up the map, but it's not slower than not knowing where you're going.
Oh, hi! I'd like to order some drugs. Oh, wait. You don't have any.
Why don't you let me answer that question, please?
They know you're after my cargo. All you can do now is run.
You think they might be interested to learn what your cargo is? This kind of federal offense illegal.
They don't care about me. All they're interested in
So,
is the
we use the
free.
singularity here?
She's here! She's here! Who's where? Miles here!
Yeah, I'm sure they'll turn
Damn
that
it,
away.
protect that truck! Someone come back up. We need everyone
Okay,
here.
I'm turning chat off. I don't want to look at that. There's always one or two guys just completely on the outskirts of the fight that just waste all your time making you track them down, because the game actually expects you to fight your way in to this area rather than approaching it from above, which any sane person, even in their first playthrough, would do. Oh, this is very slow. How did that miss? Dude. Alright, that took way too long. But that's about the first thing that's gone wrong during the run.
She dead? Damn it, somebody radio in.
And the prompt here again is tag the truck. I don't quite understand how this qualifies as tagging the truck, but this is what we need to do. That's perfect, actually, because I did not have to drain. I usually do have to during that fight. So that's not too bad, time-wise.
Anyone answering?
The very end of the fight took forever.
Although, can one
It's the only,
person again?
the only bugaboo.
You want me? I'm at the crocodile.
The crocodile is this tan-colored building right here. It's based on an actual Seattle club.
Oh,
It's not called the Crocodile.
Saved a little extra for you. You want Brent? Go bitch.
Dupes?
So we use the singularity to clear the room, and then we just let them kill us as fast as they can.
Dragon Mace gonna keep
It
me
is
from
actually
Brent?
possible to die too fast, but that's pretty rare. Usually these guys don't have very good aim.
Cutting a deal with the Duke?
If she says, I can beat
Pretty
it, control
stupid,
it, we're
Shane.
fine. But it's possible to be okay even if she doesn't say it. Yep, we're good. So we just want to die, and that advances us to this next part. You can keep fighting there until you just the drugs take over, and you end up in this little stupor anyway. But there's really no reason to keep fighting. It's faster to just die. So, there we go.
We can't keep trying to hide this, Abigail. You hurt that girl. When you get angry, you lose control.
Your father's right. It's for your own good. Calling up the DUP? Unloading me because I was a problem?
Mom, put the phone down now. You can't do this to her. She's your daughter.
I was just a kid.
Hi, Abigail. The DUP are going to make this better. She promised us.
Where is she?
So it's possible to waste all kinds of time in that little nightmare sequence by not being correctly aimed towards the nodes. That was pretty smooth. Prep your Bible thumps, boys and girls.
Not gonna leave you.
You can't just take whatever you want.
It's not what you think it is.
And Brent is wrecked.
No! I'm so sorry. I was confused. I was not seeing things. Shane, he made me...
Such a sad scene. Even as Brent lies dying, he's
I can't do this alone.
just... Even as he lies dying, he's supporting Fetch.
I'm so sorry.
Someone was asking earlier, should they play this or Second Son first? I mean, you're seeing all the story from this game. I mean, that's the big moment in this game that, you certainly hear about Brent in Second Son and that he's already dead, so... If you play Second Son first, or now, since if you've watched this speedrun, you already know the big story points.
And that's where my men found you. It was Shane who took your brother. He's the one who put you there, out of control. Given the chance, would you kill him? Then do it.
Fetch, do me a favor, honey. Tell this gal that I am 100% normal American.
I already knew your story,
God's honor.
but I had to make you relive it. To get you back to the point where you gave up.
Damn it, I am not one of those freaks.
Alright, this is the end section. It's pretty linear, straightforward, but there's definitely still some stuff you can do to save time, especially with double air dash. You know, double air dash saves time in many places in Seattle free roam, but it also saves time here.
Tango 1, eyes on target. The prisoner has stolen APC-13, heading west on 102. Advising barricaded junction. Over.
Hands off, assholes. He's mine.
Alright. So that big explosion of power at the end of the cutscene has rendered us powerless at this point. We can't even run. You know, any faster than this, that is. And you might be tempted to jump instead of just stroll and saunter forward, but it's actually slower.
Riddle looks screwed in pretty good. Just gotta take it
That's
slow.
my favorite line in the game. Gotta take it slow, this sucks. You do not know how right you are, Fetch. And I screwed up the strat here, so I'm gonna do this the slow, safe way. I would love to just bounce along the way, like that, but I messed up the way to do it. In one of my PB runs, it actually still ended up being a PB. I fell in that pit 4 times. I was so happy that that run ended up being a PB, so the moment would be immortalized in the VOD forever. Even though it's a very old PB at this point, it's like 4 minutes slower than my current PB, I think. I think that was a 127 run where that happened. Now, jumping up the ladder here is faster, but only if you have a high camera angle. And the game does not want you to have a high camera angle, so you have to fight it a little, but that was pretty fast.
Still tracking APC.
This one up here is a shorter ladder, so it's much easier.
Copy. Drones have been released to help search. But watch out where you're driving. We're having trouble keeping them.
You see that little F marker there? The game wants you to walk towards that. It will spawn a little cutscene of the bridge collapsing under your feet. Alternatively, you can just jump off yourself. Same effect, and obviously much faster.
Go away.
Now this drone is going to crash, we're going to drain it and get our powers back. There is a really rare glitch that can happen when you drain that drone. That phrase never sounds right when I say it. Drain the drone the drain. I just call it the drain glitch. That the game won't think you drained the drone, and it'll tell you to go back and do it, except you can't because you already did do it, and all you can do is get a mission failure screen and reload. It's happened to me 2 times.
There we go.
Thankfully, never in a PB run. No glitch that time.
You better run, Shane.
This is the debut of Fetch's Unleashed Singularity. She spikes it like a football. And as the game describes it, it sucks in everything that's not nailed down and even a few things that are. You really need the Unleashed powers to get the best scores in the challenge arenas. Because it does a lot of damage. Air dashing is faster than just running through this end section. And double air dashing is faster than single air dashing. There's spots where it's a little awkward. I actually never tried that before. I was trying to skip this little cutscene.
Set up the barricade and lock him down.
I never even thought to try what I just tried, and it apparently doesn't work. Which is not a huge surprise.
Stupid ice.
Dame crew touchdown. Should be targeting to track APC-13. APC-13! Stop your vehicles immediately! Haven't you been listening on the radio? Why do you think Fetch is on the warpath? Huh? She is after me! Stop your vehicle or we will open fire! I'll pull over so you can read me my rights.
Shit, it's actually possible to be fast enough, and I very nearly was there, that those rocks fall on you, and if they do, they kill you. You do not survive an avalanche falling on your head. Fetch has superpowers, but she's still human.
Let's go.
And you kind of have to keep one eye on your actual surroundings in this run and one eye on your mini-map, or you'll end up running toward a wall.
Echo team, you got eyes on Walker? Negative. Storm's coming in. We'll pick
I already
him up
knew you
after
couldn't
attack.
skip this. I did test that before. We're coming up on time in about 1 minute. And at this point, you can at least jump, which is faster than just staggering forward. If you look closely, you can see those missiles show up in the Shane staggering cutscene, which I think is really cool. That you can influence the cutscene like that.
Come on, honey. What do you say, huh? Find a way out of here? You back off now. Damn you. I ain't afraid of no junkie. What?
That's the favorite line in the game of one of my regular stream viewers. This looks like it's all cutscene. It isn't. There's R2 inputs. I'm just hitting them before they come up on screen. Get ready on time. And... time.
You see that, Prince?
And that's inFamous First Light.
I'm gonna make this right.
I got 1:25:37.
It's 2 minutes over my PB, but that's certainly more respectable than my first run. I guess that just shows how good my PB is, because not much went wrong in this run. Anyway, I guess I can cut now. Thanks for having me.